So 0015 means midnight and 15. And midnight 15 is the time of my flight to go from Kinshasa to Istanbul, and then to Istanbul to Lisbon. And so, when my flight was on the 8th. So listen, before I tell you my story, I'm going to tell something. When somebody tells you it's midnight and 1, or midnight and 5 or 10 or 15, and because you didn't sleep yet, for you it's still Wednesday. Like for me now. For me, it's Sunday night, right? But technically, it's Monday. And it's 1 a.m., almost 2 a.m. here. And I already see Monday, 13th of December. And so if somebody tells me, meet me Monday at midnight and 15, I might show up Monday night, which is actually Tuesday, right? And my flight was on the 8th of December at midnight and 15. So, when I saw that, cool. So on Monday, I would say I don't remember what was the date of the 8th of December. The 8th of December was a Wednesday. So on the 7th, Tuesday, I'm with my mom and my dad, and we are chilling. So we are chilling at Hotel Rotana in Kinshasa, and we're cooling. And so that was not that day, that was the day after. So I'm here with my parents, chilling. I was with a friend of mine, actually, somebody who used to come to all my shows in Manchester in the UK, but now lives in Congo. And we saw each other, etc. And we here chilling, and around 3 p.m. I go to the Turkish Airlines app on my phone just to see if the check-in is open for my flight tomorrow at midnight and 15, because my flight was on the 8th at midnight and 15. And I go there and I'm like, yeah, normally if the flight is tomorrow at midnight and 15, I can only check in 24 hours before, so I can only go to the app at tonight. But I just checked to make sure that my flight was at the time that I thought. And I go in and it tells me I can't check in. I'm like, oh, nice, I can check in before already. So I just check in. I'm like, choose my place. And so I choose my space in both flights. I choose my seat, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm checked in. And I already do my boarding pass. And it's all good. And I don't say to myself, it's strange that I can check in more than 24 hours before the flight. I don't even ask myself any question. After that, I leave my mom leaves, and my dad arrives, spend some time with my dad, chill with my dad, my cousin, some friends. After that, go back to the hotel. I start, I didn't even start packing. I was still saying to myself, yeah, when I arrive, I'm going to start packing. But I already have all the dirty laundry in one place, the clean one in another one. I'm starting to organize my stuff. I'm about to, unplug the cameras, all the thing. And I have to see my cousin and her sister. So I see my cousin and her sister, and we go to where did we go? Let me see if I already leave my Kinshasa trip. Is I think my stories of Kinshasa are not yet they're not. Yeah, I didn't do my Kinshasa stories yet, so I cannot use this. But anyway, I'm with my two cousins and the person who made me come. So I went to Kinshasa to sing at a wedding. So I'm having a drink with my client and his friends plus my cousins. We have a drink in a place called 1113 in Kinshasa on the boulevard, a great sky bar, very nice place. So we're here having a drink, talking, blah, 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 blah. It's around, I would say 9:30, 10 p.m. when my cousins say they have to go back to Binza, which is our neighborhood, but it's super far. So they decide to go. They go to get their drivers, and my client tells me, hey, why don't we go for half an hour or 1 hour to a club? There's a club not far called Coco Jango. Do you want to go there? I'm like, yeah, listen. Yeah, why not? Let me just go for half an hour because I'm a little tired. So we go there, we go to the club. Of course, I enter the club. The DJ starts saying that I'm here, start playing my songs. The owner of the club comes and say, oh my God, you're here in the club. Thank you for coming, blah, 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 blah. They start sending bottles, free drinks. And me, I'm like, oh guys, listen, I don't need all these bottles. First of all, I don't drink alcohol. And secondly, I'm about to leave because I'm really tired. And okay, cool. I go to, I think around midnight and something. I leave to my hotel and I go back to the hotel. Everything that happened on the way to the hotel, if you remember, it's something that I told you on the last episode of Club Shada with the driver, the corruption money, etc. Arrived to the hotel. I'm like, whoa, it's already midnight and a half, or it's midnight. I still have an hour and a half to go before it's time to do Club Shada. So we are now on the 8th of December, and it's around midnight and 30. And I'm talking with Bodhisattva, and I'm telling him, yo, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm about to do my thing, but first I'm gonna try to do Club Shada from Kinshasa. It's gonna be the first time I'm live. The internet of the hotel seems to be nice enough to go live. It's gonna be cool. I'm doing my setup. I'm putting my lights here and there. I'm trying to make something that looks nice. And at 1:30 a.m., I tell Buddy, hey, listen, I'm about to go live. We talk soon. And he's like, hey, I'm about to go to sleep. I'll say something in the live for 10 minutes, but I'm going to sleep. Okay, cool. I do my live. So we do the whole Club Shada live from Kinshasa. And we here chilling. Club Shada lasts for, I don't remember how much I did and what time I ended the show. But I think I ended the show after 2 hours and something. So I would say that the show ended maybe at 3:30, 3:45. I don't remember. And at the end of last episode, for some reason, so on my computer screen, I always have on the top right, I always have the time. And on my computer screen, I see 8th of December, 4 a.m. or 4 something a.m. And all of a sudden, I feel my spine freezing, and like I'm like, I feel shiver. I'm like, wait, I have some like a burst of anxiety. I'm like, wait a minute, when is my flight? When it says the 8th of December, Wednesday at midnight and 15, is it tomorrow night or is it 4 hours ago? While I was in the club at Coco Jango, singing Kaysha on the coin, being the yeah, receiving bottles that I don't drink. So I go to Turkish airline website. I go quick. And I'm like, I put my reservation number, and on the website it tells me you can't go check a flight that has already departed. And I'm like, what the fuck? No, it's not possible. So let me see, because I remember I was talking to Tricia. So wait, what time we were talking? At what time did I tell her that I lost my flight? Wait a minute. I don't even know. So look, on that day, right? On that day, I'm telling Tricia that she's asking me, when are you leaving to Kinshasa? That was at 3 a.m. 27. And I'm telling her tomorrow at midnight and 15. But actually, I was out already. The flight left already at that time, and I don't know. And I think I realized yeah, when I told her it was 3 a.m. and 50 minutes. When I told her, you're never gonna realize, you're never gonna imagine what happened. Listen, that flight was gone. That flight was gone at midnight and 15, and me, I was here chilling, talking to you live. And somebody, okay, wait, I'll tell you after, but the flight was out. The flight was like, bye-bye. So the first thing I do, I call my wife, because my wife was like, when are you coming back? We miss you. Your daughter misses you. Your daughter actually is like so excited that you're coming tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. She's already like saying that tomorrow, she's going to the park with you, etc., etc. And listen, I call my wife. I'm like, yo, you're never gonna guess what's happening. And she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, my flight was at midnight and 15. Today, midnight and 15 is, yeah, it's at night. It's like Tuesday night and not Wednesday night. And she's like, oh my God, what you gonna do? And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Oh my God. She's like, oh my God. Oh no. Listen. What a nightmare. Because my client reserved the hotel for me and paid the hotel from when I arrived in Congo, which was on the 1st of December, I think, or the 2nd of December. The 1st of December until the 8th. And the wedding was actually, I arrived on the 2nd and the wedding was on the 3rd. Or no, the wedding was on Friday, on the 4th. So I left Lisbon on the 2nd, I arrived Kinshasa on the 3rd, and the wedding where I was performing was on the 4th. So he reserved the hotel from the 3rd or the 4th until the 8th, and a car also. So he had me a driver, a hotel room, plus my cachet, of course. And now that I'm realizing that my flight is gone, and I don't even know if I can recuperate that flight, because for a lot of companies, once you miss your flight, it's over. If you do a no-show, you might just lose your flight, depending on the company. And it's 4 a.m. I'm calling. Listen, you cannot call the company anyway, because this is at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. You cannot call you cannot call the client who paid for the ticket and who also. So I tried to go on Turkish Airlines, and I'm trying to see if I can change my ticket or something, and there's nothing I can do because I didn't pay for the ticket on Turkish Airlines. I didn't reserve it on the website. The person who bought the ticket has to go from the agency, so I have to wait 9 a.m., 8 a.m. for everybody to wake up. So I send a message to my client. I say, hey, listen, I actually lost my damn. Listen, Lola, the airlines, they're trying to make all the money they lost from COVID. So listen, they don't care. So I'm sending a message to my client. Yo, bro, listen, bad news. The flight was today, actually, and I lost the flight. So you really need to send me. Listen, whenever you wake up, try to see if so Jeffrey is Jefferies is the name of the travel agency out there in Kinshasa that people usually use, and try to see with Jeffrey Travels if there's a way to recuperate the ticket and how, like, what can we do? And but listen, I left him in the club, so he's probably sleeping like a shit right now. And I sent a message to my mom. Listen, you have to see what my mom replied. Wait, where's my mom's message? You have to see my mom's message. My mom was amazing. Wait, is the message from my mom was? Yo, see, the message from my mom was amazing. Yo, look. This is the message from my mom. The message from my mom is here. Wait. Oh, shit. Here. The flight was today, and I'm crying, and my mom is laughing at 4 a.m. Instead of comforting me, my mom is laughing. She's like, no, ha, 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 and she's laughing. Oh, shit. And I think I called Trisha. I called Trish. And when I called her, she was laughing too. Listen. Les deuxièmes bureaux ne sont plus ce qu'elles étaient. Avant, elles te supportaient. Maintenant, yeah, listen, they're just laughing. So, listen. Moi, j'ai déjà raté l'avion à cause d'une amie. On a dû négocier pour acheter un billet car la compagnie ne voulait qu'on paye le double du prix. Yeah, that kind of bullshit. So wait. So now it's 4 a.m. and I don't know what I'm going to do. So I think as I was trying to find out what to do, I called Trish on the phone, and Trish decides that it's a good time to do an interview. And she started asking me questions, and we started having a long conversation about life and whatever and stuff. And like, we it was just to explain to her what was going on. And actually we spoke for, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, don't remember. And so by the time it's like 7 a.m. now, I'm done on the phone. And oh, you think so? Mama was going the next day to Paris. So actually, I had one extra day with her. Next day we had lunch with my mom and dad. So there was 2 extra days. But listen, so now it's 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. and I'm actually asking to myself, what am I gonna do? Because I'm gonna have to book a hotel to stay another 2 days, 3 days, 5 days. I don't know how long. Or maybe I'm gonna go to my mom's house, or I'm gonna go to, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So my first instinct is, let me go to Turkish Airlines and see when is the next flight. And actually there was a next flight on the next night. So on the 9th there was a flight. Oh my God, there's a flight on the 9th. I go on the website, I go and I look at the cheapest flight, economic, and I'm like, yo, listen. And I found a flight for the 9th for $600. I find this flight, 600 USD. I just book it straight away. I think it was $699. I just booked that flight for the 9th. And I'm like, oh, listen, whenever it happens, I don't know what's gonna happen to the other ticket, but at least I have this. And I make sure that it's refundable up to 80% at least. So at least any case, at least I can get a refund of up to 85% of the ticket, whatever. I booked that. And now I called the reception of the hotel and I asked them, hey, I need to book an extra 2 nights. And I need to know how much it costs, because I was on an executive room that cost $400 per day. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Now that I'm paying myself, no, I'm not gonna, listen, I'm out of the contract. Let me go find a basic room just so I can stay in the same hotel for 2 days. So and now I'm tired because I spent like hours on the phone, and at the same time I was there, like, and I was super tired, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I'm on automatic pilot. At the same time I'm sleeping. At the same time I'm trying to do the most I can. Then the sun is out already. Listen, and then I'm like, it's 8 a.m. I have 1, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 to sleep. So I put my alarm to 11:30, and I try to sleep. So I sleep, by 11:30, I wake up, call the wife, tell the wife that, listen, I found a flight for the next day, but I don't know if I'm gonna use it. I'm still waiting for my client to wake up and tell me what does the agency say. But if anything happened, I still have a flight for tomorrow. But I'm super sleepy. I'm like, I didn't sleep enough. I probably slept from 9 to 11. I'm super sleepy. I'm like, oh my God. I get a call from the reception telling me that I have to check out at, when am I gonna check out? I'm like, listen, can I leave the room at 12? They're like, yes, you can leave the room at 12. But I'm like, hey, I would love to keep the room for another 2 days, or any room that they have, or basic room, whatever, how much it costs. And they tell me, you have to call the reservations. This is the number. So I dialed the number for the reservations, called them and asked them, hey, I lost my flight. I would like to have extra nights on this room or any other room, whatever. And okay, interestingly, the president of Congo Brazzaville and his wife, and all the security, the bodyguards, all the ambassadors, the family, everybody is coming to my hotel, because this is the hotel they always take. They go in the last floor, presidential suite, and then every floor is occupied by all of them. And there's a wedding that my dad was actually talking to me about, this wedding, because my dad was invited to this wedding by the president himself. So they're all friends. And I'm like, so I call the reception. I tell them, hey, listen, do you have any room? And they tell me, listen, the hotel is fully booked. For the next 4 or 5 days, the hotel is completely booked. I'm like, oh shit. So I call my cousin and I ask him, hey, can you? And he's like, oh, listen, it's a friend of ours that is the person who handles the booking at the Pullman. The Pullman is like 2 minutes drive from this hotel. Let me see if she can have a room for you. Call the Pullman, and everybody that could not, because listen, everybody from Brazzaville just arrived. They all cross and they're all here in this hotel. But there's no space in this hotel. So the rest of Brazzaville has fully booked the other hotel too. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I didn't sleep. I'm super sleepy. And I don't have a hotel room. And I have to leave this one. Oh my God. And I have to pack my stuff too. So I was packing a little bit while I was talking on the phone. But listen, I have to turn off the computer, but before turning off the computer, I have to make sure that what I'm gonna do. So I check my mails if I have any information, whatever. Then I get a call from the client, Michael. Michael tells me, yo, bro, what's going on? I'm like, yo, listen, the flight was yesterday, or was this morning. Oh shit! Oh my God! Oh yeah. Listen. I'm coming back to you. I'm calling the agency and I'm coming back to you with information. And I'm, yeah. Okay. I decide to leave the room. So I leave the room. And because I was on the executive level floor, on the 21st floor, I had access to the executive lounge that they have in the hotel just for the guests of this floor. You have a place where you can stay, have meetings, etc. So I have access to it for free. So I go to that lounge and I ask the guy to do me some nice tea, and I just stay there with my suitcase and stuff so that I can be on the phone and try to find what to do. And at the same time, the driver that I booked was also I told him to come at 3, so I'm have to wait for him to show up. Tell him, hey, I need you to come now because I need to reserve a room, etc. I go to hotels.com, which is the place where I usually reserve my hotels when I reserve myself. I go to hotels.com and I check what's available in Kinshasa, and I see that Fleuve Hotel, where I was, fully booked. Pullman, fully booked. The next hotel that I know of is the Memling, and this one have some place. And because I didn't remember how was the Memling, etc. I don't know exactly what is going on, but hey, I don't remember if this hotel is nice or not, but I don't have a choice. So I'm not here to be picky. So I see that the Memling is okay. Everything else, I don't know these hotels. I see some cheap hotels in cheap neighborhoods. I'm like, nah. Let me go in Gombe and let me get the Memling. So I book a room at the Memling for one night because to me, I'm leaving on the 9 at 11:55 and we are on the 8. So that's tomorrow, right? So I book on the Memling and I tell the driver, come pick me up soon as you're ready. Call me because we are going to Hotel Memling. So Okay, go down. After an hour or two, I go down. At the same time, I talk to another one of my cousins, Cody, and I'm like, yo, listen, I'm going to the Memling. He's like, are you sure? It's an old hotel. I said, hey, listen, this is the only one that I could have. But there's other hotels. All you had to do was let me know. I can call them. And I was like, listen, I already booked that one, so I'm just going there. He's like, okay, I'll meet you there. So I go to the Hotel Memling. I arrive there. They take ages to check me in because they don't find my reservation. They ask me where I did the reservation. I tell them I did the reservation at the hotels.com. So they go, they find, at a point, they give me a room that was actually better than the one that I asked. They give me a small suite, a junior suite. Listen, it's not a bad hotel. It's just that it's a very old hotel. So compared to Fleuve where I was, which was the quality of the room was amazing. I don't know if you saw my room, but I think I posted it somewhere. Did I post my room? I forgot. I think I have photos from my room. Anyway, the room at for those who see my Instagram stories, the room at Hotel du Fleuve was really very modern, very nice rooms. Memling, it was an amazing room in the 90s or in the 2000s. But in 2020, they need to get some budget and redo all the rooms just to have them be a little bit more modern. But hey, listen, I'm just here to save my life, and this cost me $180 or something like that. Listen, I'm so tired that I went to that room. I think I went to have a lunch with my mom and my dad because my mom was taking her plane to go to Paris. And so we have lunch, mom, dad, cousin, etc. And then I'm starting to be super tired. I go back to Hotel Memling and I sleep from 4 p.m. until 4 a.m. I think. And then when I wake up, call my wife, call my daughter. My daughter was sad because she thought I was already there. She thought that I worked too much and I was in the living room sleeping on the sofa, and she was like, "Oh, Daddy's not there." So after that, so the room was comfortable, but it was not the best room. I get a call from the client who tells me that because I did a no-show, I could have lost the ticket, but because the ticket that I have is a business class ticket that costs $4,000, I have to pay a penalty, and normally the penalty is $75 to have a new ticket. But because we're in a high season and the plane companies, they're just getting all the juice they can from customers, especially because they know that everybody's trying to leave, everybody's trying to see their family after all this time, and people have no choice. Listen, I paid $2,000 for my son to come next week to Essen, Brussels Airlines. That was the cheapest ticket I got. So listen, even those tickets are not that price normally, but yeah, my ticket was $4,000. So they say we can give you a new ticket, but it's gonna cost you $438. I'm like, oh shit. Listen, I just paid the ticket for $600 for the 9. Okay, book it. They book the ticket and they tell me we'll come to your hotel to meet you so we can get our money, but we're already gonna change the thing in the system. We're gonna book you a new ticket. So they booked me a new ticket, but they booked the ticket on the 11th. So the 11th at 1 a.m. So the 11th at 1 a.m., I learned my lesson, is not on the 11th at night. It's on the 10th at night. But it's still another night that I have to stay in Kinshasa. So I have to find. It's still the 9, but now I have to leave not the 9. Well, no, we're still the 8 at that point. I still have to spend a night on the 8 and another night on the 9, so I can go the 10 at night. So I have to book another room. And this is where you start living the scammy life of Kinshasa. In Kinshasa, which is a pocket dimension of itself, where rules are completely different from the other world. Everybody's trying to scam you. And so the first thing that happened to me is the hotel. So I paid for one room. And what I do, since I see that I need another night. So I need to sleep from the 8 to the 9, but I also need to sleep from the 9 to the 10. So I go to hotels.com again and I pay another night of the same room that I had. So now I'm at $380 spent on hotel, and I'm also having to pay $436 of ticket penalty to get my new flight. So I'm already at $800 of the cost of this, which is like I could pay all the kids' gifts for Christmas for this. So anyway, so now listen, even movies, sometimes I'm gonna listen, I did this shit with movies so many times. Every time I take my wife to the movies after midnight. When I told her I lost it, she was like, again, you do this all the time. But yeah, movies. Because I remember when we went to see Star Wars, I arrived on the date and they were like, no, that was yesterday. And I was like, oh, shit. So same shit. So now I book another night on hotels.com for Memling Hotel. And after sleeping, I do it at 4 a.m. when I wake up. So on the next day at breakfast, I go to the reception and I tell them, hey, listen, I bought another night at 4 a.m. from hotels.com and I need you to just keep me in the same room so I can just continue, right? And they tell me we are fully booked. And I'm like, you're fully booked, but I paid for my room already. And he replies to me, yes, but we're fully booked. So there's nothing we can do. I'm like, what you mean there's nothing we can do? I'm telling you that I bought my ticket already. How can you reply to me that I'm fully booked? If you were fully booked, I should not be able to book a room in your hotel. Oh, because you went from hotels.com, blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, people come here, hotel is fully booked, you have to leave the room at 12. And I'm like, yeah, but on the website that I booked my hotel, it tells me that my room is fully booked and my payment is done and my payment is not refundable. So what's going on here? And he replies to me, we'll refund you. And I'm like, let me take a breakfast. I call my cousin Cody. I'm like, bro, listen, this hotel that is really not the best hotel in the world, to say the least. Now, this is the situation. And my cousin tells me, listen, you remember the guy that we were in the club 2 days ago? I say, yeah. Okay, he's the owner or the boss of a hotel called Hotel Royal. It's a great hotel in Kinshasa, very, very great quality, blah, 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 blah. Your dad was telling you that you should have gone to that one, blah, 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 but you already ordered this one. Listen, let me call them. I said, okay, please call them and tell them that, hey, listen, I need a room and I'll pay whatever it costs. Okay, cool. Go take a breakfast. I go take a breakfast in some Memling hotel. The breakfast was horrible. I was like, wait a minute. Did I pay 180 for this? Breakfast was horrible. Service was horrible. Reception guy was completely unprofessional. Listen, I'm going back to my room. So I have my computer. Now when I travel, I take this computer, that's this one, with me everywhere. I plug it to a TV so that I can always be able to work from everywhere I am. So I take the computer, I go to the computer, and I start sending, I go to the chat of hotels.com. Lucky for me, they said, I got 1 minute to talk with somebody. So I go to the chat. I talk to a very lovely lady, and I'm like, listen, I'm in this hotel. I booked a first reservation yesterday. I'm in the room actually, but I wanted to book another reservation, and I did book it. But this reservation is actually paid, non-refundable, and at the reception, they are telling me that the hotel is fully booked and that there's nothing they can do for me. So I paid for nothing. So the person tells me, I'm so sorry you are experiencing this. Give me 2-3 minutes so that I can see with the hotel. I'm going to call the hotel. I'm going to call the property to see what can be done, etc., etc. I go back to another window. I start checking my mail. I start checking my mail, my sales, my music, etc., because I was working at the same time. And I'm telling you, it's not even that they're stupid. It's just they're not professional. And now, and listen, I'm a person. I hate to use the celebrity thing. I don't like to come and say, hey, I'm this. I'm going to give you publicity, good publicity, bad publicity. Like, treat me like this, treat me like that. No, listen, I don't like to do this. I like to be somebody. I don't like to make scenes. I don't like to make noise. I like to be discreet when I go somewhere. And on this case, I didn't even yell at the people. I was just like, okay, listen. Cool. Then I went to the breakfast. Breakfast was horrible. I'm like, listen, I want to leave this place anyway. But you have an international celebrity from your country in your hotel, and all you're telling me is, yeah, we can refund you. I'm not coming back to this place. And listen, I performed in that place. I sang in that place like years ago. I remember performing there with Philippe Montero and Elisio, and I don't remember if it was just the three of us, but I performed there. So, but listen, I don't know. I don't care. Call my cousin. My cousin sends me a message. He tells me, Hotel Royal, good to go. It's fine. They already have a room for you. Normal price is $250, but they will book you the room for $180. I'm like, okay, tell them that it's cool to reserve. I'm coming. So it's still 10 a.m. So I still have 2 hours to leave this room. And good thing I didn't even unpack. So now I'm on the chat with the person from hotels.com. Listen, crazy. So now the person from hotels.com tells me, we're so sorry. It's an unfortunate event. But listen, what we can propose to you is to refund you your full night without any penalty, and send the money back to your, either send you a free night or send the money back to your credit card. I'm like, listen, and and she tells me, let me just look at it. And she said, listen, we actually didn't charge your credit card yet because you did your reservation so early, blah, 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 blah. If you want, we can just not charge you. And it will be you will receive an email for cancellation, whatever. Do you want to do that? Yes, please do that. Okay, do that, blah, 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 blah. And I tell them, listen, what happened here is inadmissible from the hotel, the way they handle the situation. And listen, I will give you a good review to you because I've been using your site forever, love you guys. But I'm going to give a 1 star to this hotel. And she's like, listen, sorry that happened this way. You do what you got to do, blah, 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 blah. Boom. Done. I know that I got this money back. Now I can use this money to pay for the other room because I think the second night I paid was 235. And actually now I'm getting a room for 180. So my cousin comes, picks me up because the driver that I had was not there yet. My cousin comes, picks me up, and we go to Hotel Royal. Hotel Royal is not far. It's still in the middle of the city, so I prefer, like, Fluv was more like in front of the water but Royal was okay. Place looks new. It's a hotel I've been before, but just at the reception to see somebody. So I look at the hotel. I'm not that bad, etc. The owner of the hotel comes and he's like, yo, oh my God, the great Kaysha, such a pleasure. Listen, here is the people will take care of you. So I go with my cousin. The director of the hotel, a very, very nice lady called Melissa, comes, and she comes and wait a second. She comes and she said, hi, how are you? I don't know if she recognized me. I don't know if she knows me. I have no clue. She didn't really speak to me, really. She just said hi. But she was talking to her people and she said, okay, put him in that room. And she was giving them instructions. So I paid the price that they asked me. And when I go to the room, so after that, she come and she said, oh, you are welcome to our hotel. It's great to have you here, etc., etc. It's an honor to have you. And then the director comes and says, oh my God, Kaysha, the employees want to do some photos with you. Is it possible? I said, yeah, of course, no problem. So I said, let me just check in, take a shower, and then I'll do photos with everybody, etc. And when I arrived to the room, for the price of a normal room, they give me this room. A whole suite that was big as an apartment. It was a huge room. I was like, yo, what room is this? So if you can see here, you got sofas, a big TV here, and then in the back you have the bedroom. So it was really like a small apartment. I was like, wow, amazing. And I was telling my cousin, if I knew, I would have. It should be bought and just completely redone by somebody. And I was like, yo, what a room. Wow. So when I go down, the Melissa, the director, asked me, do you like the room? Is it fine for you? I'm like, listen, if I knew, I would have come before. It's amazing. Thank you so much for this. Like, I mean, I just wanted a simple room, but wow, like, whew. So I think I have a video that I sent my wife. Let me see. Let me see if I can play it here. Let me see. Like this one. I have a video where I show her the room, but sure if I have it. No, that's the old room. That's the old room. Sorry, give me a second. Let me just find that video that I sent to her. Or did I call her video? Let me see. Can I export this here? Wait. Let me try. It might fail. I'm trying to export the video. No, can't. I have to download it from WhatsApp. And I can't. Oh, damn. Anyway, forget it. The room was amazing. It was huge. 2 huge TVs, 2 sofas, an amazing bed plus another big TV, shower. Like the bathroom was amazing. Perfect. On the top there was a club cigar when I had spent the day with some friends. Listen, amazing hotel. Nothing to do with the Memling. Amazing hotel, and for the price they gave me, listen, it was amazing. So, I'm telling you, it is. But the other one, no. It is. Eto, love your new song. Everybody go check Eto Tana on Instagram and on Spotify, and he has a great new single. And the girl can dance. She has moves and the body to go with it. Anyway, now I'm here and I'm actually enjoying the room. So we go. I went to a club called Dacha, which was amazing. A great night. Very early, come back to my room, and I spend the rest of the day, the rest of the night on my sofa, on this sofa actually, this one. I stay there and I watch TV, watch YouTube actually, and then, so this is my cousin. So that's the one who plugged me with the hotel, and with my dad. And we went to this restaurant again with my cousin and my dad. It's the Portuguese restaurant called Shada. We had great food, and then I went back to sleep. So that's us the day before with my mom and my dad. So, and this is the Club Cigar. This is my friend Serge at the Club Cigar upstairs. So after that, we so I spend the whole night, have a great sleep. The next day, my cousin comes again and we go down, and then I start talking with Melissa, the director of the hotel, because I realized that she's actually my very good friend Jack. He's married to the cousin of her husband, and she's the cousin of somebody that I really know in the music industry, and she's also the little sister of somebody that is trying to book me for a festival in another city of the country. So I'm like, yo, the world is small. We actually almost family. And in the Congolese way. And she actually asked me if the night was great, if I enjoyed the hotel, and she asked me, what time is your flight? And I already checked out. At that moment, I already checked out. I have all my suitcase down there. I'm about to take a lunch with my cousin, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do, because it's only 1 p.m. and I have a flight tonight at 1 a.m. So I'm just telling the girl, well, listen, I'm gonna go have a drink, etc., and we'll see. And she's like, what time is your flight, Mr. Kaysha? And I'm like, my flight is at 1 a.m. tonight. But hey, and she's like, did you check out already? I said, yeah, I've checked out. I put my luggage in your storage. And I'm going to roam in the city, whatever. And she's like, but you don't need to check out. I said, I checked out at 1. I said, no, come on. Like, she goes to the reception. She's the director of the hotel. She goes to the reception and she talks to her people. And she comes back with the key of the suite and she tells me, you can stay in the room as long as you want, Mr. Kaysha. The time you decide to go to the airport is the time that you can get the room back. Give the room back. So if you're probably going to leave to the airport, what time is your flight? 1 a.m.? You stay in the room until 9. At 9, you can give the room back. I'm like, wow. Now, this is excellence. This is how you treat a client, VIP or not. But if you have a VIP client who's a celebrity that has 800,000 followers on YouTube, 150,000 followers on Instagram, almost 200,000 followers on YouTube, a show on YouTube where he talks about his adventures in life, 50,000 followers on Twitter, that's how you treat that person. Because that person, whenever somebody goes to that country, or whenever he goes again to perform in the country, instead of going to the other hotel, he's gonna ask people to book you in this hotel. He's gonna say, hey, because on my contracts, I put the hotel I want when I go to some countries. And usually I say Hotel du Fleuve because that's the hotel where, usually that's where I go, is VIP, whatever. But after she treated me this way, whenever I have a new contract in Congo to perform, this is where I will put in my contract. Put me in Royal Hotel. And take me a suite. Take me the same suite. I want that room. And I will say, yeah, this is the hotel I want. And I want X number of nights. I'm staying here. And I want you to pay. And the money will flow to that hotel starting now. Because the way I've been treated, I haven't been treated like that in any other place. The other hotel was amazing. Hotel du Fleuve was amazing. It's not their fault that they fully booked. But other than that, my stay was amazing, flawless. And I forgot to say something about the Hotel du Fleuve. Actually, the person who booked me, because he knew I would eat at the hotel, he gave them for some dollars, I don't know how much dollars, for me to get food, for my food to be paid in advance. And when I checked out, they told me, oh, we owe you money. I was like, you owe me money? Yeah. For the room service that you didn't use, we actually owe you $250. Oh, so I'm like, oh, bonus. So they gave me $250 and I used that money to pay for that room that I was at Royal Hotel. But the way they treated me, I was like, yo, that's amazing. So yeah, that part was perfect. They took care of the king. Yeah, listen. I'm going, actually myself, the director, Melissa, asked me to go to their website, to go on, what's the name of this? So listen, let me go get her message on Messenger. She sent me a message telling me to go to TripAdvisor and to leave a review. Let me put the link for those who want to keep it. Listen, I'm going to put a review myself. I'm going to give you the best review ever. Let me put the link here in the chat for those who want to leave a review, even if you haven't been in the hotel. Listen, they did an outstanding job, and I'm going to put them. I'm going to do an amazing review as soon as the show is over. I didn't have the time to do it yet. But she sent me a message on Facebook telling me, hey, I would love So I'm gonna write a review. An amazing, because listen, perfect. So let me look at your comments as I go. The picture was taken when the plane flew over the club. No, I'm gonna show you which picture I took. This picture, that one. When I took that picture with one of our artists called Héritier Watanabe, that's at that time exactly when I'm posting that picture, somebody in the airport is calling my name. Passenger Edward McCullough, you need to be at the Turkish Airlines because the door's about to close. Listen, I was taking that picture in the club chilling. And I was about to go my club Shada, to do my club Shada. What a nightmare. So, listen, amazing customer service. Listen, I have nothing to say. Listen, kudos to Melissa and the Royal Hotel. You go there, she's the one. Amazing. Exactly. Listen, this is the place you want to go if you go to Kinshasa. Royal Hotel. Perfect hotel. So, don't laugh at me. So, after that, I receive a call. From. So I stay at the hotel. I think after having lunch with my cousin, I went back to the room since I had the room until 9 p.m. And I actually stayed in the room until time to go. So I stayed in the room until 8:45. At 8:45, my father protocol came to help me with papers at the airport, because listen, now I'm going to talk about the scamminess about this country. And at I think at 9 p.m. I went out of the hotel, check out, say thank you. I told the guys at the reception, if I asked if Miss Melissa was out already, just to say thank you for everything. She was out already. I didn't realize that she sent me a message actually on Facebook. I saw it when I was already on my way to the airport, and I didn't even time to read the messages, but I know that from the notification I saw that she was asking me to leave a review. I didn't have time to do it. I'm actually gonna do it right after I finish this show. Yeah, man. Kaysha, brother. What up, Crystal? So after that, we now take the road to the airport. So we leave at 9 because we really want to be early. And listen, the road from Kinshasa to the airport is total chaos. But listen, because it was already 9, it was not too crazy. So now I take the driver, my protocol, I'm in the back, and we on our way to Njili Airport. And listen, in Kinshasa, it's a pocket dimension of its own. In Kinshasa, it's be scammed or scam. It like, I think Sport National of Kinshasa is gratte. Everybody's trying to scratch some money from you all the time. So imagine that I'm here and I'm actually receiving a message from the person who rent the car that I'm using. And I didn't think about it because my mother has 3 drivers and my dad has another one, I think. My parents have 4 drivers and I don't know how many cars in the house. I completely forgot to tell my parents, hey, can you lend me a driver? I already had a driver. My dad actually asked me, you have a driver? And was like, yeah, I still have the driver. He was like, okay, cool. I didn't even realize that I had to pay it every day. And depending of the car you use in Kinshasa, it's going to cost you between 100 and 200 per day to have a driver all day. And this should include the gas, but my driver was always asking me to add the gas. So I don't know. I didn't do the contract. Everything was part of the organization that made me come. But since I have the guy for 2 days, when I received a call and they asked me to pay, I have to assume it because, yeah, I've been using the car. So, Papa, elengi mama. So, listen, now I'm going to tell you the airport. Listen, get ready. I received a call from the company that has been booked for the driver. And they tell me, hey, are you the person that is using the car? And I'm like, yes. And they tell me it's 150 per day. So you have to give the driver, when you leave to the airport, you have to give him 300. I'm like, shit, another 300? Okay, wait a minute. 380 or 340 of hotel, 400 and let me take my calculation. So hotel, let's say 340 plus 300 of driver plus 438 of plane and probably another $100 or something. So I'm at $1,000 and 178 just because I lost that flight. And I'm like, oh, okay, listen, there's nothing I can do, I guess. There's nothing I can do. So I take 300 out of my money and I already put them in an envelope ready to give to the driver. And as I'm in the way to the road to hell, which is like chaos, that road that goes to the airport is chaos. Like this, everywhere there's car going in every direction and nobody's respecting nothing. And you have buses, you have passenger cars, you have small buses, you have a lot of motorcycle, you have a lot of people take taxi motos, and then you have people walking in the road. Like it's just a chaos. And you don't even know how nobody's dying. And I'm there like, and the person who booked me for his wedding calls me. I'm like, yo, Mike, I'm on my way to the airport already. He's like, oh, listen, thank you for everything. And I'm like, hey, I have to pay for the driver. He's like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah. But yeah. Let me call them. And I don't remember how much I paid, but let me call them and ask them how much you have to pay. I'm like, okay. But I knew already that it was 300. But I'm like, yeah, let him call. He calls them and he calls me back. And he tells me, yeah, that's 120 a day. That nigga just asked me 150 a day. So he was trying to scam city. So you know what I did? I took my 300 that I didn't give to the driver yet. I take the 300. I take 200. I go take 2 bills of 20 and I give the driver 240. These people were about to scam me. I would go from 240 to 300. I was like, yo, what the hell is this country? What the hell is going on here? So, okay. Listen, I didn't say nothing. The driver he didn't know about this. He was the guy who called me out of nowhere. I don't know. All I knew was the driver was kind of okay. I mean, let's not forget the episode of last time. But the driver was cool. It was okay. And I was looking at their website and like the company. I was like, hey, this is great to have a company that does this for people. And actually, I have people who are in Kinshasa right now. They have money. They were looking for a car, whatever. And I was about to give them this number. Tell them, hey, listen, it's gonna cost you 150 per day, but it's a good service. Blah 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 blah. Now that they just try to scam me, or to scratch an extra 60 from me, I was like, yep. So do you have a car? No, I don't. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know. So listen, driver takes me to the airport. That's the one. So now how you say? Now I'm in the airport. We arrive at the airport, confusion everywhere, bunch of people, and listen. Where do I start with the scam city that this airport is? First of all, to be able to travel, you need to have your COVID test normal. Your COVID test must be 70 hours maximum, right? Because my COVID test was done on the 7th for my flight of the 8th, I had a new COVID test done on the 9th. So I have two COVID tests, right? My COVID tests, they live here. Wait, let me show you my COVID test, right? I have a note called Congo trip, right? And in this note, I have all my documents. My plane tickets, my COVID test from Portugal, and my COVID test from my two COVID tests. So this is the one from the second day. You don't see nothing. And this is the one from the this is the one from the first day with the QR code, right? So if you work for if you work for the INRB, which is the company that takes care of making sure that people have their COVID tests, right? All you need to do to let people in so that they can check in and make sure that their COVID test is valid and they're negative, all you need to do is use your scan reader and the QR code that is here, right? That's my QR code, right? You take this QR code, you scan it, right? And you can see that I'm negative and that I can go on my way. So I arrived there and she's like, test COVID, s'il vous plaît. And I'm like, yep, here's my COVID test, and here's the second one. And I already zoom in the QR code so that with her machine, she can scan my QR code. And she tells me, sir, you have to print it. And I'm like, why? And she's like, here, you have to print it. And I'm like, yeah, but you can scan from my phone. And she says, no. In Congo, you have to print your document. You can go here. So just here, near her, there was a lady with a printing machine, and she's printing QR codes for everybody. I mean, she's printing test results for everybody that we already have as PDFs in our phones. But nah, you have to print it. So I'm like, the fuck? Okay. I go to the other side and I ask the lady, yeah, listen. And she's like, yeah, are you here for the, are you here for printing your test results? I'm like, hey, listen, I see there's a lot of people that don't put likes. Respect this show and put some likes, please. Listen, so now I go to this lady. So there's a queue, right? I mean, there's one lady in front of me, then there's me, then there's 4 people. The lady in front of me, I'm waiting for her to finish. When she's done, she has her print done. She goes, I go, and she's like, yeah, you here to print you here to print your QR code? I'm like, yes. And she's like, yeah, this is the WhatsApp number or the email that you can send the QR code. So I'm like, okay. So I send my, not the QR code, the COVID result. So I send my PDF to WhatsApp. I send it to her WhatsApp number. She receives it and she prints it. And as she's receiving it and she's printing it, the 4 people that are behind me are all talking at the same time to her. And instead of telling to everybody, I'm busy with this customer, you wait in the line, she's replying to everybody at the same time. And everybody, one person is speaking in English, another person is speaking in French, and another person is speaking in Lingala. And she's like, hey, Papa, no, that she's talking to everybody. And she's trying to reply to everybody. And I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, why not? Why does nobody respect nothing here? Why does everybody has no respect for nothing here? And yeah, the girl is here. At a point, I'm like, lady, can you print my thing? She takes my thing, and after I'm done printing, you know what she tells me? She tells me it's $3. So if you have 1,000 passengers coming, listen, who uses printers nowadays? Nobody. We all have things on our phones, and whatever airport I go, this monkey business doesn't exist. Only in Congo. That you arrive in the airport and somebody is telling you that you have to print something where it's more secure from your phone as a PDF. You can falsify, Photoshop it, and send it and print it. That's what they prefer. Not because it's for security, no, just because they can make $3 from you. And if you have 1,000 people coming in, if in the 1,000 people, let's say you have 1,500 people, passengers coming through the airport. If you have 1,000 of them that don't have paper printed, what they do, they make 3,000. Why? Because it's a country where everybody's trying to scam people all the time, everywhere you go. And I'm like, what the fuck? So listen, once I have my paper, I take my paper. Listen, I don't use paper anymore. Listen, take my paper, I go with my paper, I give the paper to the lady, and you know what she does? She doesn't even read it. What she does, she just scan it. And I'm like, she just scanned the QR code. And I'm like, I was about to tell her, you know that you can scan from the phone as well? But I think she knew. All they were interested in their little group here was to scam you. And they're probably sharing that money. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. You think it's finished? Listen, let me look at some. You have to print it. You should have told me about the process. The guy who was taking you to the airport should have handled it for you. No, because the guy who took me to the airport, the protocol, was handling the next scam. So I'm about to talk to you about the next scam. Listen, craziness of a level. Listen, Congo is a pocket dimension in the universe. They don't obey to the rules that we obey to. Yeah, ils font tout pour faire le but. Listen, c'est la débrouille. Listen, it's crazy because the QR code is in my phone. You can scan it. You want me to scan a paper, to print the paper, so then you can scan the QR code from the paper when you could scan from my phone. Makes no sense. But it makes for them because they can forcefully take free dollar from you. Listen, there was an American near me. He was trying to speak French. He didn't speak French. They were trying to tell him he had to print his password. He had to send it. And the guy was telling them that he had no internet. I have no internet because I use the Wi-Fi from the hotel. How can I send you the code if I cannot print it? The lady was like, "What's your phone?" And he had an iPhone, and she was like, "AirDrop to me." Yo, they're ready. Took her phone, AirDrop, boom, print the shit. $3, sir. It was like $3 to print. Listen, go to any library. To print is to print one piece of paper. It's what? It's like 10 cents, 5 cents. These niggas are printing this for $3 one. Imagine if you're a family of 10. Mom, dad, grandpa, etc. You're all going there. It's gonna cost you $30 just to print QR codes and scan the paper. They make no sense. Like, they would go to everything as long as they can scam you. That's crazy. Listen, this is crazy. I was like, what's going on? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, if you think Gilly is bad, you should hear the stories from Lagos Airport. Oh my God. I gotta go there and check. He's like, I'll kick that printer and destroy it. Listen, you end up in jail, bro. Every day I'm hustling. Listen, they're hustling bad. Listen, cousin, when you go, just get ready. And listen, that's not the best scam. That's not the best scam. Shuffling is the way to keep business in Africa. I'm telling you, Charlene, I'm telling you. Now listen. Next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. already. Next thing you know, now there's the best scam of them all. To be able to leave the airport. So to be able to enter your flight. Let me explain to you how it goes in the world, the whole world. Let me see if I have my plane ticket. Do I have my plane ticket? Let me see. Let me look at my downloads if I have the PDF of my plane ticket. No, this is my water. I have something with my plane ticket somewhere. Sorry, give me a second because I need to break it down for you. Mr. Edward, there it is. So does it say everything? doesn't. Fuck. Let me go to my email. Let me just give me a second. I just need to check something. Turkish Airlines online ticket information. Online ticket information. Blah 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 blah. Price. I don't know. They don't. Are they seeing? No. They're not showing it here. Seat selection. No. Blah 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 blah. Online tickets. Oh no, they don't have this information here. I don't know where I can see the information I'm looking for. I'm trying to find an old ticket of mine. Maybe in the receipt of my tickets. Oh, they don't have it. Oh, anyway, listen. In every country of the world, right? Everywhere in the world, I'm still missing 3 likes. Some people are here, they come, they don't leave the likes. I don't like this. In every country in the world, when you buy a plane ticket, right? You buy a plane ticket from any company. When you look at the breakdown of the price, I'm going to give you fake numbers. Let's say you buy a ticket that costs $1,000. In the $1,000, you're going to have probably the real price of the ticket is probably $500. The price of the taxes is maybe $400. I said 500. Yeah, 500, 400 for taxes, and then you will have maybe 50 for environment thingies, protection, and then you will have 50. So I made up all the numbers, but and you're gonna have 50, which is taxes aéroportuaires, which are taxes that the company pays to the airport. So every passenger pays a tax that to use the airport, and this tax is included in your plane ticket. So you just pay the plane ticket. Included is when you go pee at the airport, you pay the light for the airport, etc. Every passenger that's using the airport is paying that in their plane tickets. And so whenever you have a ticket, and when you buy your ticket, just check what the ticket says, and you will always see that there's a tax for fuel. Price of the ticket is actually not that less than you paid, plus you have the taxes for the government, taxes for ecology, and then you have taxes for the airport. So because somebody has to pay for the airport, right? Not in Congo, not in Kinshasa. In Kinshasa, you have to pay a Go Pass. What is a Go Pass? A Go Pass is a tax that you pay to be in the airport, and you have to pay it if you want to travel. If you want to be able to enter the plane, you have to show proof that you paid $50 of Go Pass. And this is the ultimate scam. Because why in the world? Listen, everybody pays all around the world. Whenever you buy a plane ticket, you're paying that tax. But it's part of when you pay the ticket, you pay the company, and the company pays the airport. So why wouldn't they make it simple for everybody and not force everybody to go get a Go Pass? Then they can use the airport. Because that's the beauty of the scam. If you pay directly in the plane ticket, then the company will report how much ticket they sold in any given month or any given year or quarter. We sold that amount of tickets, and in that amount of ticket, we owe you the airport that amount in taxes, and everything is registered somewhere, especially from the companies that are using the airport. If you make people pay directly at the airport, you can then invent any number you want of how many Go Pass you sold and how many passengers went through the airport, and say, hey, we made 1 million this year from Go Pass, and in reality you might have made 3 million, and then you share the 2 millions that you didn't declare, and then you pretend that you paid 1 million, and then you pay the taxes on 1 million. So this is corruption at its best. And when they invented that story of Go Pass, it was actually pretend to pay for the airport, but actually this is a way to suck the passengers. And you listen, I've seen so many American passengers at boarding, people telling them, where's your Go Pass, and they have no idea what they're talking about, and they have to run back to before security to go to that place where they can pay $50 and listen, so that they can board. Come on. Like, at that point, your energy is completely depleted, and you just listen. Add to this that every cop, every person that works at the airport that you pass through is always asking you if you have something for them to drink, some tea or buy a coffee, which means give me $10 or give me $5. Everybody, the people who check your luggage, everybody is asking you for something until you are in the plane. Once you're in the plane, it's over. The nightmare is over. You can now go back home. But the Go Pass thing is amazing. Like, the way they, like, so in conclusion, to get in the country, like I told you before, last episode, you have to pay $50 of testing. Once you land, they test you for a COVID test, when actually to board you had to produce a test anyway. So you pay $60 here in Portugal to do your test. You pay another $50 in Congo to do another test when you arrive, because they don't trust the test from Europe. And listen, this is just a way to scam you $50 when you get in. So every passenger that comes in pays $50, right? And then when you want to come out, they scam you $3 to print the test. And then they scam you another $50 of Go Pass so you can leave the country, which is amazing. Like, if you go to Congo, you go to Kinshasa, make sure you have $103 ready for scam in, printer scam out, and then scam out. You need $103 of budget just for that scam that you cannot avoid. You guys are amazing.